Hello all, welcome back to my channel. This is Future B here with another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing my non-dominant hand. I've already done my dominant hand, and that's gonna kind of act as the rubric as I work on my non-dominant hand with my dominant hand. The idea of this nail set plays on a nail set that I did around the Christmas time. At that point in time, I did a nail set that was a Disney villain nail set. It was 101 Dalmatians. This nail set is my Maleficent nail set. Yes, I am back to my Disney villains, and this nail set is giving Maleficent vibes. I love it so much. So I wanted to start with a little fun, a little pop of color. So I'm going to be doing some red bottom nails, and that's why you saw me go in first with a sandy band to remove the shine from my nails. Because I'm going in with gel polish on my nails, I removed the shine first. I went in with some base coat, and now I'm going in with the gel polish for the red bottoms. Now I could have just actually painted the underside of the nails red, but I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to make the red under the acrylic, and that's why I did it in the way that I did. And I really did like how it came out, the red underneath my nails, because it's not actually going to be this bright. I did it with a really bright red, but because I'm going in with black acrylic over the top of it, it's going to make it look even darker, and it's almost going to come out like a maroon kind of color underneath. Very, very, very pretty. Very, very, very red bottom-esque. If you wanted to call these some Christian Louboutin nails, you could, but these are Maleficent nails, so I want to look like a dragon. I don't normally show my dehydrator and primer, but I did show you in this video. I went in with the dehydrator from Mia Secret, and the primer that I'm using is Young Nails primer. I have used the Young Nails primer many times, and whenever I'm looking at like message boards and that kind of thing, I always hear such great things about the primer. For me, it's just okay, but I wanted to use it on this set because I was trying it out again, and I'm gonna use my products up. I'm gonna do it. I went in with the dehydrator and primer after I did the gel polish, because I only did the gel polish on the nail tips, and you don't really need dehydrator or primer on the nail tips. I roughened up the surface of the nails to make sure that the gel polish did adhere nicely, but you don't need the dehydrator primer on the nail tips, just on the natural nail bed. So I went in with that after I did the gel polish, and now I'm immediately going in to do a clear coat of acrylic before I go in with the black acrylic. I did this for a couple of reasons. The first one is because black does stain the nail bed. This is a very, very, very pigmented color. It would have stained my nail bed if I had not gone in with clear before going in with the black. The second reason I did it is because I was using dehydrator and primer, and I didn't want anything to stick to the primer before I had the opportunity to lay acrylic on it. So that is really important, because you can get like a hair, you can get dust, anything caught in your primer, and it can affect your adhesion. And so whenever I do prime my nails, I always go in with a clear coat of acrylic, because I can lay that down quickly before I have the opportunity to bump my hand on anything and make something happen. An issue that I did have with these nails, you could just see me doing it just there, is the acrylic at first did not want to stick to the gel polish. A way to remedy this is I could have, after I did the red gel polish, I could have gone in with a top coat, or something over top coat or base coat to act as a barrier in between the acrylic and the colored acrylic, the gel polish and the colored acrylic. As I apply the acrylic down the nail, if I don't wait for the acrylic to set just a little bit and I move it around, it will move. It moved very, very, very easily, and you could see that a little bit on the thumb, but I worked it out by letting it dry just a tiny bit and patting it into place instead of swiping it, because I swiped it right off the nail the first time. The acrylic laying portion of this nail set is so very, very, very simple. I would definitely consider this nail set to be beginner friendly because I'm really only using one color on all of the nails. I'm not doing any fringe tips. I'm not doing any ombres, nothing. Just laying down one color on all of the nails. This color is Sharon by Glam and Glitz. It does have a little sparkle, little shimmer in it, and I think it is an absolutely gorgeous black. It is incredibly pigmented. You can tell by the towel that I have laid down there. There is a lot of pigment in the towel, and when you're working with very pigmented acrylics, make sure you're wiping your brush off because you can stain your brush. If you look at my brush, it looks like there's already some pigment in it. Granted, I've already done one hand and I'm working on my second hand, but still, black is black. It is a dark color and it will stain it, it will get everywhere if you let it. So when you're working with it, make sure you're working with it. Okay. I found the acrylic laying portion of this video to be so satisfying, and that's why I kept most of it in this video, even though this is a pretty simple set. But I just found the portion of me laying the acrylic to be just so satisfying. Am I the only one that still likes to watch oddly satisfying videos? Because my new thing now is watching people draw. I absolutely love watching people draw. It's just so satisfying. I love watching like puppies playing. That's another oddly satisfying video that I've been getting into lately. And of course, still watching acrylic being laid, being smoothed down the nail is oddly satisfying. It is just, I don't know, just makes me happy. When I'm stressed out, that's what I do. I watch someone lay some acrylic. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that. I hope I'm not. As I've already said, these nails are my Disney villain nails for Maleficent. But Maleficent is not the only inspiration for this nail set. I was also inspired by Peyton Marie Charles. I've been binge watching her lately, and she had this beautiful set of nails that I think she was wearing in the November time period. Hers were brown, but they fit the same kind of theme. And whenever I saw the nail set, I'm like, oh my gosh, those are totally giving dragon vibes. I love it. And so I did my own take on it. Hers were brown. Mine are going to be black. Mine have red bottoms. I don't think hers had an alternate color on the bottom. And I think she had gems on her nails too, but my gems are different from her gems. So she was just inspiration. I didn't completely copy. Also, if you take a look at the ring that is on my middle finger on the hand that I am currently working on, that beautiful ring with the black onyx in the center there, and it looks like feathers coming off the side. Yeah, that ring is a Disney ring. It is actually a Disney Maleficent ring, and those feathers on the side are actually meant to be like wings. Such a pretty ring. And I don't think it necessarily gives Maleficent vibes, but because I know it's Maleficent inspired, I love it. I love Maleficent as a Disney villain because she's misunderstood. Aren't we all just a little misunderstood? I don't think she's really a villain. I think that she had a reason to be the way that she was. If you've seen any of the Maleficent movies that starred Angelina Jolie, you get what I mean. She had a reason to be as she was. She wasn't bad. She was a protector of the animals, and the king wasn't being very nice. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen the movies, go see them. They're kind of old, so go see them. Now, lately, most of the filing that I've been doing when I've been doing my nails has been with a hand file. I really like the process of filing my nails with a hand file. I mean, using an electric drill is okay, but I really like the process of doing it with a hand file. I feel like I really am getting down and dirty as I'm filing whenever I'm doing it with the hand file. So on this set of nails, I actually did most of the work with my hand file. I do go in with an e-file at the end, but I'm just using a sanding band to go over the nails. I'm not really removing any bulk, but I am going over the cuticle area with a sanding band, and I'm going over the rest of the nail with the sanding band, because whenever you use a sanding band when you're doing your nails, you don't have to buff. That's a little trick that I did learn whenever I'm using a fine grit sanding band, and whenever you sand your nails like this, it kind of takes away the large scratches that you get in your nail if you were using an e-file or using a hand file. So the sanding band helped me out there, so I didn't have to buff the nails. Buffing nails also is another oddly satisfying portion of doing my nails, but I did use my sanding band here. And you know, whenever I was done with this nail set, I would have really been mad if I could seen some scratches in my nails, because these nails were just too cute. They were too cute. They made my fingers look long. I think I have like short, kind of stubby hands, but these stiletto nails made my fingers look long, and these black nails, oh my goodness, I felt like a creature, a little beastie. Oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. Now, as for the next step in this process, I'm going to go ahead and choose the gems that I'm going to be placing on my nails. What other color goes as well with black other than red? So this is a be better than me type of moment. I was being a little bit lazy here, and normally whenever I do gems like this, I will put down a little gem glue, and then I will put my top coat. Generally it's a shiny top coat. I'll put my top coat over the top of that. I'll press my gems into it. I didn't do that this time. I'm using a matte top coat, which really is not as great for this as a shiny top coat would have been, but I just laid down the matte top coat and I placed the gems within the matte top coat. Because the gel is a little thick, the gems do kind of fit in it a little bit whenever it is wet, and then I cure the nails. Now, I did go in with another coat of gel polish after I cured the nails the first time, because I really wanted them to like stick in there. But if I'd used the gem glue, then it would have just worked out better. I should have used the gem glue. I just didn't want it to look thick, because sometimes gem glue, if you don't apply like a really thin layer, it can look thick, and I really didn't want that. So yeah, but be better than me. Do that, okay? Yeah, do that. Now I'm going to go in with the scales. Yeah, the scales portion of this nail set. I'm going in with a shiny top coat, and I'm adding clear acrylic to it to make the top coat even thicker, so that it does, well, it's still going to attempt to even out whenever I put on the nails, but I'm doing it thick enough so that it is going to hold its shape. You can kind of see it there on my right hand as I'm working here. But I'm going to apply this with a liner brush. I also could have done this with a dotting tool, but I'm using a liner brush, and I'm just adding it down the bottom of the nail on the middle finger, and it's going to be all over all of the other nails. It's going to be the main attraction of this nail set. I use shiny top coat on this because I wanted it to have this shine to it, so it really does look like scales. Whenever you use like a matte top coat, it would look matte. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It would look matte if I use matte. I didn't want it to look like sweater nails. I wanted it to look like scales, like a snake or a lizard, but mainly like a dragon. So you see the vibe, you see what I'm going for here. I'm going in to do multiple fingers before I cure, but I didn't want to do all of the nails before I cure because this gel polish, even though it is thicker because I added the clear acrylic into it, it will spread just a tiny bit. So I'm only going to do a couple of fingers and then I'm going to cure, and then I'm going to do a couple more fingers and then I'm going to cure. But since you see the vibe here, since you see what I'm going for, let me know if you think that I achieved these Maleficent nails. Is this a nail design that you would try? I will say that I got so many compliments on this nail set. I think it just turned out so cute, and days upon days that I was wearing it, I kept looking at them like, man, I like these. I really like these. You let me know, what do you think? Would you wear this nail set? Is this too different from you? Is it giving dragon vibes? What do you think? Let me know down below. I have more videos coming, some exciting things in the works. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.